This is an AVNation special. My name is Tim Albright. That young man right there is Matt D. Scott. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Tim. How are you?
I am well.
Awesome. It's been a minute.
Well, it has been a minute.
It's been a minute.
I would give you a hug, but I think the Canadian government would probably fine both of us for that.
Yeah, totally. I'd go into lockdown again. They'd shut the whole country down.
Parts of you are. Parts of Canada are, and parts of
it does depend, yeah.
It does. So, through the magic of Magic Mitchell, Matt and I can be on the same stage.
Yes, thank you, Magic
We're doing
Mitchell.
the AVNation Reader's Choice Awards today, or announcing those. I have this list in my hand. Matt has a list in his hand.
I got one, too.
He does.
I do. And there's nothing on the back, so you can't sneak.
I can barely make out the front, and these are typed.
I really need a pair of your grandma glasses, because I did not print this big enough at all.
That's what happens when you hit a solid 45.
Okay, Grandma.
All right. So here's what we're doing. There's tons of really great categories here. We're going to read off the folks that were up for it, right? Matt or I, either one, will announce the winner of each one. And we might comment on some, we might not on other. We'll just move along. We'll try to get in and out in under 3 or 4 hours, kind of like the Grammys. Right?
Yeah, it'll be awesome. But we're able to do it. We didn't have to postpone because of COVID in LA.
Yes.
Even though they're playing football games.
I mean, the Rams are in the Super Bowl, so that's not a real football team.
All I got to say, Joe Burrow I'm pulling for Joey B.
I'm pulling for any team that plays against the Rams. All right. Best virtual event. This was a category that obviously has come to fruition the last couple of years through COVID. The two that we're up against on the finals, AV Happy Hour, our good friend, Mr.
Neto.
Chris Neto. Yeah, creator of the AV and the AM on Sunday morning, but also the AV Happy Hour, versus AV Meets Food, Mr. Scott.
And we should have brought a drum roll, but
Mitchell, can you throw a drum roll?
In the best virtual event, the winner is AV Meets Food from the Avixa Diversity Council, and Frank and the whole team over there.
Yep. Some highlights of that, if you weren't able to attend it. Has a couple folks, Joey Lloyd from Avixa, making latkes, which I have still yet to have a latke.
I don't know what that is.
It's a potato cake.
Oh,
it's a potato cake.
Okay.
This was during December. It was for Hanukkah. Jen Steinhardt, I believe, made a cake. A number of other folks. Nice. V did some of her fantastic food as well. So
awesome.
But congratulations to the Diversity Council and Frank and everybody at Avixa.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Tim, why don't you present best digital signage, my friend?
All right, best digital signage, LG SuperSign versus Bright Sign. And our friends at the Purple Boxes win this year's award. That, of course, is the folks at Bright Sign.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And, again, being agnostic might have played a little bit of a role in there, but both great products and a great winner there.
Best projection technology. This one is kind of a squishy category. We kind of gave folks the opportunity to. Well, it is, right? So you're like, okay, projection. Okay, so what is it?
Projectors are squishy. That's the word that comes to my mind.
Some folks named projectors outright. Some folks named projection companies outright. Whatever. We're kind of
okay. All right.
So Epson, really great, projection line, and then the folks at NEC Sharp.
Yes. In this category for best squishy, I can't even say that with a straight face. Sorry, Tim. I was trying to leave you one there. Best projector, we'll say brand. I think that's a safer thing. Between NEC and Epson, the winner goes to pretty close, actually. Epson won out on this one, so congratulations to the team over at Epson. I know my company uses these both in the commercial and the residential space. A great line of products. I say that I didn't vote in anything. I don't vote in this.
I didn't vote in this
influence
one.
Anything.
But Epson does have a number of line of different ones, and they're getting more and more into projection mapping. So certainly.
Yeah, huge thing. Tim, why don't you talk to us about the best UCC? And to our friend Bradford Ben, you must define UCC first.
Unified communication and
I'm letting you do it.
Collaboration. Come on, dude. This is collaborative. Anyhow, the two that you think are going to be in the final, those are the two that are in the final. You've got Zoom on one side, and you've got Microsoft Teams in the other.
Google Hangouts didn't make it again? Oh, man.
No.
I was pulling for Google.
I know you were. But it's a horrible platform. And I'm sorry.
Terrible.
But it's a horrible platform.
Terrible.
Our friends at Future use Google Meet, and it's a horrible platform.
Still?
Yes, still.
Okay.
I don't know. It must be a British thing. It's a British company.
Good for you.
So, very close, very, very close. But in the end, the same team that owns Blizzard now, Microsoft Teams, wins this year's UCC award.
So this one was incredibly close. Like we're
incredibly
talking
close. And honestly,
24
quite surprising
votes.
a little bit, right?
I'm shocked.
We use Teams, right? That's what we use primarily
Yeah.
for our collaboration at AVNation and CTI. I understand the ubiquitousness of it, but Zoom had a running start here.
Massive start.
Massive.
I do wonder if this is whether this is a corporate push or whether this is an educational push. And I don't know which one is leading in either one of those verticals, but I'm feeling that one is leading in dramatically in one of those verticals, and that's what pushed this over the top. Because I would have bet money that it was Zoom. So very surprising.
Yeah,
very surprising.
All right, Matt, why don't you do the best AV accessory? An interesting category we threw in a couple years ago.
All right, in the category for best AV accessory, you have the Extron IPL EXP PDU4H. That is a controllable power supply up against the Shure MV7, which is their USB podcast mic. Really cool mic. In this category, again, this is more than surprising to me. Extron dramatically won out over the Shure product in like a 3-to-1 percentage there. That's a really big deal. This is, I'm going to attribute this to, again, being in podcasting, have a lot of friends in podcasting. So we talk a lot of podcasting gear, hence the Shure MV7 is forefront of my mind. But from our community as a whole with integrators, I totally understand why that Extron power supply would win out.
Control's a big deal. It's still my favorite part of AV.
Control? That's so kind of you. To love Control to the very end. All right, Timothy. All right. The best microphone technology, one of my favorite categories of all time, always.
Speaking of microphones,
yes.
Both of these are what I could you would categorize these as conferencing microphones.
Yep.
By Amp Parlay. All right, Amp a number of years ago started releasing these and developing these, or the Shure MXA series. Shure obviously came out with this number of microphone elements in over 100 microphone elements in a 2x2 square. Yep. And the winner for this year, second year actually in a row, is the Shure MXA series. Not really a huge surprise there. It's an incredibly popular product, and Shure has done well with that.
Not only have they done well with it, it has become, I would argue, probably the ubiquitous ceiling array across the board. And
it has, and launched a number of lawsuits as well.
Well,
so.
I wasn't going to make it that obvious. I was going to say they've been in the news a lot.
They have been in the news a lot because it's launched a number of lawsuits that are still going on. By the way, we should mention.
Yeah.
Best speaker technology, Mr. Scott. There.
All right. In best speaker technology, we have the Extron SF 228T Plus versus the JBL LCT 81C/T. Not overly surprising, that Extron product won out big again as well. I thought I'd be surprised by this, but I'm really not. This is one of those ones that I just I looked at it and went, yeah, I kind of feel like that's going to win out. There's such
as an old technology manager, we put in a lot of these.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah,
we're definitely seeing a trend in education, influencing this a lot. Those tech managers, you know who I'm talking about.
You've got the tech managers, you've got the AV users, the AV users group, you've got the folks at HETMA, you've got the in-house integrators, you've got all these folks that they're doing these in every day, all day, every day. All right. Best AV distribution technology. This was an interesting one. The Audinate Dante, right? So Dante, typically you started off at audio only. Last couple of years, I want to say it was ISE 2020. Last time you and I physically saw each other in person.
That is true.
Is when Dante launched into video. Versus the Extron DTP Crosspoint. This is more of a traditional AV over network cable type solution.
Yeah.
And the winner for 2021 is the Extron DTP Crosspoint switcher.
And again, very close. Very close.
Very close. Yeah.
Very, very close. This one does surprise me a little bit again, but yeah, Extron's just been killing it in that space. They've been doing a very good job. Lots of development.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk the best AV over IP. This is going to show Extron NAV up against QSC's NV. And the winner of this one, keeping with the trend, is Extron NAV. Stop laughing, Grandma Alba over there.
Think about this. So Extron Nav, they were not certainly not the first AV over IP solution. It took a minute to come out, but once they did, they had a couple of high profile, installations that is going to come on. What was interesting to me about this entire process, and I understand that this is a multi-tiered voting system where you've got
we
brackets,
do 4 rounds,
right?
correct? 4 rounds?
Yeah, 4 rounds. 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Sorry,
3 rounds. Is QSC coming on top over a couple of others that are more stalwarts in this space?
Right.
I thought that was interesting.
Well, and again, QSC has made such a huge push into that space. It's no surprise that they were in the final round and that they did quite well in that. But again, I've got to give kudos to the Extron team because they've done a really good job as reflected in our voting.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Best mounting technology. This one was this last round, I should say, was not particularly close. It was Chief versus Premier Mounts, and our friends over at Legrand and Chief have won once again for this year and for this technology. So.
I want to give kudos to Premier Mounts for making it to this round because they're not necessarily the brand that you think of top of mind when you think about mounts. And for them to make it to the final round, that's fantastic. And they put on a really good showing up against Chief, who again has been around for a long time. All right, best tech support. Tech support's a tough one because tech support's tough. All right, in this category, we are throwing Extron up against Audinate. And, again, what probably isn't going to surprise anyone is this is going to go to Extron again as well. So congratulations to that tech support team over at Extron. I know that all the manufacturers, they do put a lot of work into trying to provide really good quality tech support. And, this is showing and recognizing Extron's team for being the top at it.
What's interesting is the Extron S3 support versus Audinate here is almost the same thing as the AV distribution when we had Dante, which is Audinate, right? So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's the way my brain works. All right, best AV project.
All right, this is a big one.
So
is it not a big one?
It's a big one. It's a huge one.
Now,
first of all, it's the first year we've done a project. Okay.
Right.
This is our first year we've ever awarded a project.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good addition, and I'd like to see the project category kind of expand because it's easy to kind of pick your favorites when it comes to products and to tech, but to go in and hopefully all of our viewers and voters and readers took the time to actually look at more than just an 8x10 glossy of both of these projects. But I'm gonna hazard a guess that we've got a lot of techie people that are voting in this who are going to dig into see what they're doing in these projects because it is groundbreaking. It is really, really cool stuff that they're trying to achieve in both of these and through the whole rounds of voting.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so our 2 finalists here, our friend over at USC, Joe Way and his team, USC hybrid classroom upgrade, or Aaron Peterson, and the Iowa State University Stark Performance Center.
Yeah, huge.
Now, I do want a drum roll. So, Mr. Scott.
Drum roll, please. Winning the best AV project of the year in the AVNation's AV Awards goes to USC for their hybrid classroom upgrade. Congratulations to Mr. Way. And of course, I would be remiss if we did not single out the hero of heroes of this project. It's Joe's Joe. It's Joe's Joe. Totally raised the bar of ensuring that Mr. Joe Way and his team were able to complete this properly. So congratulations to It's Joe's Joe, Joe Way, and the whole team there, as well as congratulations to the Iowa State team. That project was just as beautiful, looked great, fantastic work for everyone who submitted a project for that. So again, congratulations to It's Joe's Joe.
For any complaints, it's at Matt D. Scott on Twitter, Matt D. Scott on Twitter.
Please send them to me. It's
best AV education. This one almost didn't seem fair, but we'll go ahead and So you've got AVIT, right? Our friends over at Future,
Yes.
They do a really great job. We partner with them at AVNation for a number of virtual events. So they've got an in-person event, AVIT Summit. It's really great. Or Avixa. And
I am not announcing this, just so we're clear.
I know, but it's
I'm not
Avixa, which is the industry association, and they've got all sorts of. They got freaking Chuck Espinoza for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
So, the winner of this year's Best AV Education, obviously for the second year in a row, honestly, is of course Avixa, and our buddies over there, not just Chuck, but also the great volunteers that volunteer their time and their efforts to do the education, both in person and online. So,
and I think that's such a important part to highlight. Is yes, Chuck and his team do a fantastic job at it, but without all of the volunteers and all the people that work on curriculum development and help fact check all of that coursework and just the entire breadth of education. I haven't worked with the Avixa team on education, but I have done it from the CEDIA side, and it is a massive mountain. And the volunteer say, what was that?
I said it's much better at Avixa. So
wow. Either way, it's the volunteers that put this, that really help make this go. Again, not taking anything away from Chuck, but I know he'd agree with me that the volunteers really help make this such a great educational program. So congratulations to Avixa, to Chuck, and the whole team there, and again, all the volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for trying to throw me under the bus there.
I love my friends at CEDIA. They're fantastic.
Killing me, man.
Except for Whitaker. He's a little bit weird. All right.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Final one. This is the one that I got more texts and questions and threats about over the last month or so.
Who threatened you? Does his name start with J and end with an E?
No, it was Neto. Anyhow.
Neto.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a Jersey thing. I don't know. The AV Professional of the Year. So first of all, we've had some women in the industry get nominated in the past. We've had some women in the industry make it through the rounds in the past. This is the first time in the 6-7 years we've been doing this that it is 2 women in the AV industry that are finalists. So that's pretty cool, right?
It's huge. Massive.
Huge.
Yep.
Both of them are members of HETMA, the Higher Education Technology Managers Association. So both of them are they work and breathe in the AV space, in the higher ed space. They're both AV tech managers. First and foremost, Erin Mayer Moran. Erin is from Johns Hopkins. She is a control programmer extraordinaire. This is not saying much, but she's a better AV programmer than I will ever be. But I know, I said.
Way to get her a great bar.
Shut up. She's a better AV programmer than you. How about that?
I would have given her that right off the bat. I've given most programmers that.
And then.
I'm a pretty face.
Then and then you've got Lex Peters from USC and the USC team. Obviously, they've already won one award, right, with their project. But Lex is an incredible content creator. She's a great mentor there, and she's also of It's Joe's Joe.
Yeah, she's really good friends with It's Joe's Joe, which that's a big stinking deal right there.
Well, and it's apparently better than Joe Way.
Understandably.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I am ready. Are you ready?
1 or 3, 2, 1. The winner of this year's AVNation AV Professional of the Year is Lex
Peters
from USD. So congratulations. Congratulations, Lex. Congratulations to everybody who won. Just so I've said this and for full transparency, there are a number of folks on here that are sponsors, underwriters of AVNation. Extron is one of them, Cheap, and the folks at LeGrand is another one. So Avix is not, and so I had to make sure that anybody else that I'm thinking of, technically Joe Way is not, but
maybe
sure
he should
is
be.
As well. Yes, he should be. He totally should.
He should be. Totally should be. Hetma should be. Now, and again to that point, that's one of the reasons that myself, we don't promote people, we don't promote products through this process, right?
The process.
It's not. There's 2 O's, not an A. So yeah, it's great. Again, we love to see all the votes coming in and all of the engagement. It's fantastic across the board. Again, primarily based out of the U.S., but we had representation from Canada, UK, Ireland, India, and a host of other locations. Anything else in the demographics that you found surprising? As I'm looking through them real quick.
The youth of the demographic.
The youths of today, the 18 to 30 range, which I used to be a part of.
Who is closer to 50 now than you are, first of all.
Yeah.
But closer to 50 than I was a couple of years ago. I find it encouraging, right?
Very much
the fact that 18 to 40-year-old demo is the biggest percentage we've got.
Yeah, that was, and it's not even close, really.
Yeah, no.
So it is fantastic to see the I don't want to say the younger people. That sounds terrible because I'm not that old. Thank you. You could have. That was your opportunity to say, no, you're not, Matt. You look great. You totally don't look 45.
Oh, you look great. You look great.
Goodness gracious. This is what I work with.
This is also the year Matt turns 40, so.
No, it's not. Nope.
No, dang it. In another 2 years. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah, you got time, buddy. Are you going to be 50? Are you going to be 50 before I'm 40?
No. No.
You'll be pretty close.
Because I'm 9 years older than you. So you'll hit 40 and then I'll hit 50.
Yeah, you'll still be 50.
I think that's right. Anyhow, math is not my strong suit. Anyhow, go ahead.
Again, it's just incredibly encouraging to me as someone who came into the industry really young and worked through that at a time when, again, there wasn't such a promotion of younger people in the industry. It is very encouraging to me to see how engaged the new generation is and how active they've become and what a proactive role they've taken in the industry. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mr. Scott, thank you. It's good to see you finally,
Good to see you.
even though it's virtual. How do people connect with you or Omega if they want?
You can find me on Twitter at Matt D. Scott. That's where Joe Way will be sending me hate mail. You can connect with me at AVNation. I also host the residential show, Resi Week for AVNation. You can also visit my personal company if you so desire, OmegaAudioVideo.com. But definitely just reach out over Twitter or LinkedIn or Instagram or not TikTok because I'm obviously way too old for that. But yeah, Timothy.
You called it Tic Tac. That's funny. All right, for me, AV, don't follow me on the Twitters because I'm still complaining about the Bears head coach hiring. But hey, at least I'm not a Cowboys fan.
He's a high school coach, right?
It was fine.
School coach.
It's fine.
Interesting.
He can't do worse than the last guy. And yes, that is a challenge, by the way. go by the website, AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. You'll find this program and a host of others, including Matt's weekly show. We both kind of do something on a weekly basis. He does the residential side. I do the commercial side of the industry. So check those out on a weekly basis, plus an entire line of monthlies that looks at everything from XR to programming to marketing to higher education. So all of that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching this AVNation AV Awards 2021 special.